like to do it to the mayor and everybody, but whatever it is. Okay. Can everyone hear me now? Without
Yes.
Thank you very much. Report, Mayor and Township Committee on negotiations, WTPA and Township 10. As you're aware, the 2010 budget contains a layoff plan for the police department, clerk's office, construction office, tax assessor's office, treasury, and public works. The layoff plan includes layoffs and demotions has been approved by civil service. Winslow Township's Police Association contacted Winslow Township representatives, set up a meeting to discuss how they could avoid layoffs and demotions. In the meeting at May 13th, WTPA presented a written plan that they said would save dollars needed to avoid layoffs and demotions. The Township's negotiating teams, Stuart Flack, Derek Riso, Espino, Steve Dringus, and I informed the WTPA that we would review the plan, quantify it where possible, discuss it with the governing body, subcommittee, and return with our findings. At the end of each negotiating session, WTPA and Council 10, the Winslow Township negotiating team contacted the governing body negotiating subcommittee to update the committee, discuss the matters, and receive direction. First recommendation from the WTPA, in their written proposal, they suggested the governing body implement the recommendations of Dr. Caprio's report, which would be to raise taxes to the minimum maximum allowable by law and to utilize the additional surplus for both the general fund and the utility operating fund. As part of the WTPA's initial proposal, they presented a 12-hour per day scheduling scenario effective January 1, 2011, which would call for fewer officers. The recommendation to achieve the staffing plan would be through attrition as opposed to layoffs. They cited a large number of pending retirements for 2011. As you're aware, the township cannot legally present a budget based on promised retirements. These retirements would be more likely to take place in 2011, not 2010, if at all. Furthermore, the retirements are for officers who are not members of the WTPA. At this time, none of the officers' retirements the WTPA cited have filed their retirement papers or expressed any intention of doing so. The WTPA admittedly did not and could not assign a dollar value of cost savings that the scheduling plan would provide. Labor Council pointed out that we could not force retirements upon employees, and they could retract the retirement at any time to which the WTPA concurred. They also made a proposal, effective July 1st, 2010, all police officers would contribute $20 copay toward the cost of maintaining their existing insurance benefits, which would sunset December 31st, 2011. Savings would be approximately 1/3 of what the state mandated 1.5% contribution would be. They also submitted a proposal that instead of all overtime payments, it would be paid in compensatory time for 2010. Currently, we have $60,000 budgeted for overtime, and the problem with paying out all compensatory time is that the township would be responsible paying comp time at a much higher rate at the time of retirement. Additionally, there are the dangers exceeding the Fair Labor Standard Act, 480 hours per officer in accumulated time. WTPA also included clothing allowance proposal, which said instead of getting January 1, they would spread it throughout the year 2010, which would be no additional savings. The only true savings in their initial proposal was the $20 per pay for the health care contribution. After analyzing the proposal to determine the savings of the township, we returned on May 17th to meet with the WTPA with the township's proposal to avoid all layoffs and demotions for 2010. We feel that the proposal prepared on behalf of the township to the Winslow Township Patrolman Association was very fair. It took into account their portion of the layoff plan, which is $489,376.23. The township's proposal to the WTPA was a 7-month wage freeze effective June 1st, 2010, ending in December 31st, 2010, without any impact on wages and salaries paid for the first 5 months of 2010. We also presented them with a 1.5% health care contribution effective June 1st, 2010, elimination of college credit reimbursements, shift differential, and K-9 payments for 2010. We also factored into our proposal the retirements of Chief Bello, Officer Grisso, both of them were filed their retirement papers. WTPA response was that any concessions would have to be spread equally across the membership, which shift differential, college credit, and K-9 did not achieve. They proposed 6 furlough days to be spread over the remaining life of the contract, 12/31/2011. When we indicated they needed at least 6 furlough days just for 2010, they said they'd be willing to do that, to take 6 furloughs in 2010. Those furlough days by themselves did not meet the dollar requirement of averting the layoff plan. They also said that they would agree to $30 per pay as a contribution toward health care, which would be the equivalent of roughly 1/2 of the state mandated 1.5% contribution according to law. It still puts them significantly short where they need to be to avoid all layoffs and demotions. Taking into account the WTPA request that all concessions be equally distributed, on May 18th, we presented a second proposal that eliminated the shift differential, college credit reimbursements, and K-9 concessions in an effort to remove their claimed stumbling blocks with their rank and file. Instead, we presented a 6-month wage freeze effective July 1st, 2010, ending December 31st, 2010, without any impact of wages and salaries paid during the first 6 months of 2010. A 1.5% healthcare contribution and 4 furlough days. Further, we acknowledge that if additional confirmed retirements were obtained in 2010, the furlough days in 2010 could be reduced by the additional retirements that would generate from that year in 2010. The WTPA rejected the township's last proposal. They indicated they were not taking our proposal back to the members for a vote, and they broke off negotiations. As for Council 10, Council 10 today voted today to accept 8 furlough days to avoid all layoffs and demotions for 2010. Agreements are being prepared now. I also had conversations with the SOA, and they've indicated they would like to have discussions, but they have also clearly indicated that the WTPA cannot account for the number of retirements from their unit as well as the retirement dates.
Hey, Joe, for the record, SOA is what?
Superior Officers Association. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. We thought it would be helpful for everyone to have a summary of what has transpired since our last meeting. We now will move on in our agenda to announcements.